guys, it's Olivia, and welcome back to Live in Literature. We are getting right into it today, people. I'm feeling chaotic and I'm feeling a little bit crazy because, and I quote, we are less than 5 days away when I am filming this for House of Flame and Shadow. I repeat, Book 3 in Crescent City's Sarah J. Maas's House of Flame and Shadow drops on Tuesday in like 5 days, people, when I'm filming this, and she dropped this morning Chapter 1 and the prologue.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Well,
I literally, like, I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna start crying right now.
Oh my God, are you crying?
No, it's just raining.
I'm like trying not to cry. Oh my God, sorry, I didn't expect to cry. I'm like tearing up thinking about it. I was like so shook when she dropped this. Like, I don't think I've been more shook for anything in my entire life. Like, to say that I'm excited for House of Flame and Shadow would be the grossest understatement of all time. To say that this book might give me heart palpitations and I might pass out the minute that I touch it would be a massive understatement. To say that Sarah J. Maas is my single favorite author that's ever existed in this entire planet, and I don't care what anyone has to say about her, okay? She is perfect. Everything that she writes is perfect in my eyes.
Ryan.
David, I don't care if Ryan murdered his entire family. He is like a son to me.
To say that I'm excited for this book, it would be such a vast understatement. So, just for your own, like, edification, if you want to know, I've decided that, like, that for some reason today I woke up and chose violence. Today I woke up and I said, you know what? We're getting on Book Talk. We're filming a booktube video. We're talking about enemies to lovers. We're talking about Sarah J. Maas. And so I decided, like, this morning I decided to start a book talk, which you can go follow me on TikTok. I'm live.in.literature, so live in literature, just like here on the YouTube page. I posted my first TikTok. It's literally just my reaction to reading the prologue in Chapter 1 of House of Flame and Shadow. Please feel free to go check it out if you want to, but also you'll be able to find some more content from me there. I'm going to start posting more on it. This was my first one I ever dropped. I just was like, I woke up this morning and all of a sudden I was like, I have to talk to someone. I'm like unwell. I'm violently unwell after reading this like intro into the book.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
And I'm scared. I'm scared and I'm unwell and I'm really, really, really excited for this book to drop in like less than 5 days. We are so close, people. We're waiting 2 years for this. I'm violently unwell, but I am so excited. Like, so excited. I have a lot of fan theories. I have a lot of thoughts. I will be filming my reaction and like my reading time, kind of like I did in my Sky and Breath video when I read the second book in the Crescent City series. If you have not seen that recap and reread, and me, like, my reading vlog, please go and watch it if you care about Sarah J. Maas. And if you don't care about her, you should. So go watch it. But also, it's just going to be, like, a reading vlog. So I'll be posting that in the next, like, week or two or whenever, like, once I read it, obviously. I'll be posting, like, live reactions to things. And I'll be posting, like, my thoughts, my feelings. I'll probably do a whole video on, like, my fan theories. And then, obviously, one doing a full review of the book. It's going to be Sarah J. Maas content, like, for probably the whole of February is honestly just going to be Sarah J. Maas content, which, like, buckle in, kids, because I've got a lot to say.
Hold on to your butts.
But regardless, I decided today, though, I wanted to film a video about enemies to lovers. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I have a video on my page called The Enemies to Lovers, like, Best Enemies to Lovers Books. And as I've been going through and doing a little bit of my own discography and going through and looking through my past videos, I saw that one and I looked through of the books that I wanted to talk about, like what I recommended to you people. And I've got to be honest, I feel like I did you a great disservice. I feel like I didn't give you enemies to lovers.
You know what I want. I've been asking for it for years. You're gonna give me what I want.
And as someone who is the greatest protector of enemies to lovers, it is the most holy, the most sacred, the most beautiful of all tropes. It's the trope we crave, the trope we love. Because you know why? It's not that it's knives to throats. It's not that it's the tension. It's not that it's the sexiest because he was your enemy and then now he's your lover. It's none of that. It's the barest truth of all, which is that this person sees the ugliest parts of you. and they accept that and they love that. And only your enemy can see those parts of you before anyone else. And that's why we love that trope. And I wanted to give that to you. I felt like in my enemies to lovers video that I posted before, it was weak sauce. It was weak. It wasn't giving enemies to lovers.
It was supposed to give, but it did not give what needed to be gave.
So today, my recommendations for you, these are ones that I've curated, that I have thought about, that I was like, what is going to be the most like knives to throats, the most passionate, the most like, I would rather kill you than kiss you kind of person. I wanted it to feel palpable, to feel the tension, to feel something. And so these books that I picked out, I feel like are some of the best and most well-written enemies to lovers. Some I can't say well-written on, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Fourth Wing, but we'll get into that. But these are some of my like favorite and like most palpable and most like tension-filled like enemies to lovers. And no, I did not, disclaimer, I didn't include any of Sarah J. Maas's books because let's be real, she writes enemies to lovers better than anyone. And it's just obvious that we know the best enemies to lovers ever written was by her in TOG, ACOTAR, and in Crescent City. So of course I didn't include any of her books today because I figured that was obvious. So I included books that weren't Sarah J. Maas. But for those of you who are like trying to get over the SJM hangover, these books might help. They might help you get over the hangover that I've had for, I don't know, maybe like 6 years now since I started reading her books.
All right, look, here's the deal. I've got a hangover. Who knows what that means?
I've had an SJM hangover for like years now at this rate. I had one forever. I found one book in here that I'm going to recommend to you that like I think cured me of my hangover, which like, thank goodness, because I can stop acting like this now. But then the hangover is going to come back because then I'm going to read House of Flame and Shadow. It's all going to be ruined. So that was a lot to start off the video, but without further ado, these are some of the most heart-wrenching, gut-churning, like blood-stopping, knives to throats, best enemies to lovers that I can think to recommend to you people. So let's get started.
Enough talk. Let's fight.
All right, let's start with the fan favorite. Let's start with fan favorite Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, I know you're all clamoring in the comments and everyone wants to be like, so why don't you like Fourth Wing, or what's your issue with Fourth Wing? Listen, I loved Fourth Wing. I love Fourth Wing. I think Fourth Wing is awesome. I think it's fun. It's so fun. Like, everything about it is amazing. Like, if you haven't read Fourth Wing, you should read Fourth Wing. And listen, I know people are going to be like, but it's so trendy, it's overpopularized, everyone's making it seem like this da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whatever. Listen, I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And Fourth Wing is that book.
Everybody's in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
She's here for the good times, not the long times, though. Is she gonna be left in the pantheon of the gods of books? In my eyes, like, no.
A god.
A god. A god!
But she's in like the second tier list of like, she's your bestie who has your back. And is she kind of toxic sometimes? Sure, maybe. But she'll have your back. She'll be loyal to a fault. She's loyal to a fault. And so you gotta love her for trying. Dragon Riders. Need I say more? Let me just give you a brief synopsis if you don't already know what Fourth Wing is about. Essentially, it's about a young girl named Violet Sorrengail. Her mother is the general of a war college called Basgiath War College, where they train dragon riders, scribes, and healers, and like other militaristic type people in this fantasy world. Essentially, though, Violet has trained her entire life to become a scribe, to go work in the scribes quadrant of Basgiath College. And her mother basically sentenced her to go and work, or to go and train in the dragon quadrant. It's brutal. It's cutthroat. It's bloodthirsty. These people die. And I will say Rebecca Yarros does a great job setting that up. Like, you get from the get-go that if you do not survive the Rider's Quadrant, like, you are dead meat.
They eat meat. We're meat.
Like, it is ride or die, people, in this book. So I do love that. It's pretty high stakes. Once Violet arrives, though, she knows that she's got public enemy number one, Xaden Ryerson, who's one of, like, the lead. I don't know what to call him. I'm going to call him a captain. I know he's got a captain. Just roll with me, people, if you read this. He's like the lead. He's like a captain at the college. He immediately sees her. Tensions are rising. They have bad blood because of some feuding stuff that's going on between their families from, like, years ago. Regardless, it is palpable enemies to lovers. It's dragons. It's hot, it's sexy, it's leathers, it's powers. It's everything that you want from a fantasy.
I knew it. I'm dead.
And so this is where my caveat comes in. It's not like the most well-written thing. I will be honest. Like, I have read, like, I'm sorry, but SJM, she spoils us. Like, we have other authors who spoil us with their writing, like Rebecca Ross and Hannah Witten and like Ava Reed. Like, they have this writing that is just like so beautiful. This to me is not beautifully written. I'll be honest, it's like the writing for me is like somewhat like, it's kind of poor. The story though is so good. Like, the story is so fun. But I will say, for those people who are here for a good time but not a long time, Fourth Wing is for you. Book 2, Iron Flame, is out. Please read Iron Flame. Give us your thoughts and opinions. I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on Iron Flame. The ending, devastating. I don't even want to talk about it. But Fourth Wing is such a good time. It's a great book, in my opinion. It's a great book, poorly written, but the story is really fun. And it has great palpable enemies to lovers. So give this one a go.
That's for scaring me.
Was it always going to be this way? Because...
Next, I want to talk about a book that I just finished reading not even a week ago. And it had me by the throat. I want to talk about Lauren Roberts' Powerless. Now, at first, I was a little bit nervous to pick this one up because this one had been popping up all over my FYP on TikTok. I was like, what's going on here? What is this? I need to learn more about this. Powerless. Oh my gosh. If you want palpable enemies to lovers, you go read Powerless. If you want sexual tension and knives to throats, I kid you not, knives to throats the entire book. I swear, these two people, these two mains, I swear the entire time all they did was try to kill each other. And it was everything.
I'm eating it up with a fork and knife.
The snarkiness, the banter, the wittiness, like these two people are literally disgusting to one another in the ways that they're trying to kill each other, and I love it. There's just some sort of like way. They have like this chemistry that's like undeniable from page 1. To give you a quick plot summary of Powerless, essentially we have our young protagonist, Peyton Gray, who is a young woman living in like the slums of this kingdom. We are, the world building in this one is we have the category separated from elites and ordinaries. The elites are people who have possessed powers for like years and years and years. They don't want to dilute the bloodline by like getting with like ordinaries, like people who don't have powers or who weren't blessed with powers or whatever. And so the kingdom, or the king in this kingdom, has been trying to kill them off for years. Peyton Gray has been like living in the slums, posing as an elite, but is really an ordinary. And there's this competition that the king has to challenge his enforcer, which is the guy to challenge his enforcer. His enforcer is a young man named Kai. He's the prince. He's one of the princes. And essentially the king is holding this challenge as like a way to test him to see if he's ready to become the kingdom's enforcer and to do all the assassin stuff. And so Peyton Gray, though, gets elected by the people to compete in this competition amongst all these other elites as an ordinary, but she's still, posing or whatever. This one is sexy. It's hot. It's fun. It's a YA, so like nothing crazy, obviously, in the like
romantic department, but still, like, the tension is there. There are no rules in this house. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
So I really, really enjoyed the book. If I was a little younger, like if I was like maybe like 16, 18, whatever, I would eat this up with a fork and knife and never put it down. This would be my Roman Empire. I just know it. It would be. I loved this book. It's not like my the writing, like I said, is like, it's a little bit young. It's a little quick, a little too fast paced. But like I said, it's still amazing. It's incredible. I ate this up even though I'm not 16 anymore, but I felt like it when I was reading this book. Like I was seriously like kicking my feet under the covers like a little girl, like squealing every time Kai came on the page. He's darling. I'm obsessed with him. Please read this one. It's a great book. This is a fan favorite of mine. I absolutely adore this book. We have Danielle L. Jensen's The Bridge Kingdom. If you have not read The Bridge Kingdom, go and read The Bridge Kingdom. If you haven't read anything by Danielle L. Jensen, you've got to read Danielle L. Jensen. She is amazing. I love her. The Bridge Kingdom. This is an incredible enemies to lovers. This one also gets into one of my other favorite tropes, which is arranged marriage. I love the arranged marriage trope.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
Because it literally, I'd love nothing more than two people who should despise each other being forced to be together. I love nothing more than that. There's nothing sexier to me in my eyes than forced proximity. And these two lovely characters are forced into things. To give you a quick plot summary, we have our main protagonist, Lara, who's being forced to wed the king in another country called the Bridge Kingdom. His name is Aaron. Aaron's kingdom controls all of the travel and trade going on in the passageways, like in the waters through his kingdom. And so it's a huge power move for the king. And so what her dad wants her to do, she wants her to kill Aaron so that her kingdom can take control and have access to the trade and like passageways and all the secrets that his kingdom quote unquote holds. Lara is like ready for, she literally goes in like ready to kill this man. She goes in, guns blazing, like ready to knife this man in the back and bring his kingdom to his knees.
I'm on my vigilante shit again.
But obviously, as things go on, the more she learns about Aaron, the more she learns about the kingdom, the more that she like starts to fall and she can't decide, will she be the person that brings this kingdom to its knees? Now, I adore this book. Aaron and Lara are very hot, very passionate, very good dictators, and very, very smart, like very calculated. Lara's a calculated woman. She's trained her whole life for this. She knows how to like infiltrate and like get in on the down low. And she and Aaron have incredible chemistry. If you want to read a book that just like has everything that you want for an enemies to lovers, read The Bridge Kingdom. And then read the sequel, The Traitor Queen. It's incredible. This is a great like new adult book. So this is not YA, this is new adult. These two people could not hate each other more. I live for that kind of tension. It's everything. Go read this book.
Man, you could cut the tension with a knife.
Do not make eye contact.
Next, we have once again, a super, super big favorite of mine. This is actually a sequel in a beautiful duology by one of my favorite authors. We have For the Throne by Hannah Whitten. I adore this book. Hannah Whitten is such a great author. She's poetic, she's moody, she's gothic. She just gives like the vibes, the spooky vibes. It's everything. So the first book in this series is called For the Wolf. You will not understand what's going on in For the Throne if you do not read For the Wolf, so please go and read For the Wolf. But For the Throne, for me, is where the true enemies to lovers comes to stand. It's where these two people who truly hate each other come to fall in love. And now in For the Wolf, it was more of I would say that one was more of like a forced proximity slash, like, I kind of loved you from the get-go kind of love. And don't get me wrong, like that one was really beautiful and it was really, really well written and not in a cheesy way, because those kinds of love stories can be very not cheesy. It's really, really beautiful. The first book is about our young protagonist Red and her man Wolf. This one is about her sister Neve and a man named Solomir. So this is about Neve and how she's sort of like surviving in this like underground, like underling, like dark world, and the only man that she has to go with her is Solomir, who, spoiler alert, did something really bad. I'm not going to say what, but she can't stand him. Like, truly would rather like cut off her own arm than be anywhere near this man.
Give me the scroll. I would rather die.
Like, truly, she hates him with a hate fire stronger than any other hate fire than I have ever experienced. And the tension is real. These two people are ugly, like ugly inside because of things that they've done, the things they've experienced. And I love ugly people. I do. I love it when they're so broken from the trauma and like it's ugly on the inside. It's messy. It's carnal. These two people have that.
I can't believe that there are people that would do something like this. I just want to cry right now. It's so sick and twisted.
Like, it's one of those like, I hate myself for how much I don't want to kill you. That's like the kind of love that these two people have.
It's a bad idea, right?
And it just is, the intensity of it just grows and grows and grows throughout this book. I can't talk enough about Hannah Whitten. I really, really enjoy her. She's fabulous. This book is incredible. Please read For the Wolf and For the Throne. I'm so excited to talk about this one. And finally, last but not least, the one I've been dying to talk to you guys about, and the one that I think cured my SJM hangover, thank freaking goodness. I finally feel relief. I've seen the sun, but it won't be for long because in 5 days' time, it will be back. But for now, I will experience true rapture and relief by introducing you to The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Carissa Broadbent. Where have you been my entire life? Hi, hun. Nice to meet you. So sorry it took me so long to get to the party. I do apologize. Carissa Broadbent, Serpents in the Wings of Night. Oh my gosh. Now, I saw this cover floating around last year, and I kind of thought, like, I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, I really did judge a book by its cover. Let's be real. The cover is nothing to be desired. It's not very cute to me. Sorry, just my opinion.
Where are all the hot people?
I finally got down to it, and I was like, you know what, screw this. Like, I actually kind of want to know what's going on in here. I gotta read this book. And when I tell you that this book truly, like, cured my SJM hangover, that I finally found something with the writing prowess, the darkness, the gothicness, the world build, the strong world building, the complex and morally gray characters, and the, like, moral dilemmas of a world that, like, I could never understand. Like, when I found that in this book, I literally, like, I wanted to cry. I was literally like, oh my gosh, like, this is it. Like, this is what I've been waiting for since I finished Sarah J. Maas. Like, since I finished all of her other books, this is what I've been waiting for.
We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! No!
Someone with the literary prowess to, like, insightfully write about people and in the most complex ways possible. She does that. Carissa Broadbent, like, just, she moves worlds, and she created this gorgeous, terrifying world that, like, I was scared. From, like, the first chapter after reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, this place is utterly terrifying.
And I'm frightened.
And you feel for the main protagonist because of how terrifying it is. You can't trust anyone. And I love that about this book. To give you a quick plot summary of The Serpent and the Wings of Night, we start with our main female protagonist, Araya, a young human girl in her 20s, who lives in the kingdom of the vampires. This kingdom is ruled by a vampire king who took her under his wing and has raised her in this, like, culture. He has trained her. She's become a battle-hewn, like, just baddie assassin fighter. She has been trained her entire life to never trust anyone, to never yield, to never back down, to always watch her back. Because literally anyone at any time, because she's a human and these are all vampires, could literally kill her. These vampires are terrifying. They have wings. They're terrifying. They are so scary. To think at any moment that she could die is like, she could. Literally, like, you feel it in the pages. I'm, like, terrified for her the entire time. She's like a mash. She's stone cold. She's like, I don't feel anything anymore. Like, people have tried to hurt me. Like, I don't feel anything. And I'm just like,
Girl, I'd be so scared all the time if I was you.
I'm shaking in my custom baby seal leather boots.
anyways. For a young human born in the kingdom of the vampires, there's only one thing that she can do to remain there, and that is to compete in the Kajari, which is a competition that Nyaxia, which if I'm saying that wrong, sorry. Nyaxia, the queen, the goddess of death, she grants one wish to the winner of this competition, and they can have any wish that they want. And so her plan is to win this competition and wish for something. I'm not going to say what, but, like, wish for something. You can kind of pretty much guess what she's going to wish for. So she's been training her entire life to compete in the Kajari. And when she's in there, in this competition, she meets a young vampire man named Rain. And he...
Oh, gosh.
She meets a young vampire man named Rain. They form an alliance throughout this Kajari, and things slowly start unraveling as we go. This book has political intrigue, assassins, death, fighting, a competition, like magic powers, like alliances, betrayals. It has it all. This book healed something inside of me that I didn't know needed fixing. Truly one of my favorite things that I've read thus far this year. It's already like 6 stars in my book. I was like, 6-star read. It already wins for best thing that I've read so far this year. But in this world, I fell in love with these, like, dark vampires. I was kind of like, ooh, everyone is terrifying, and, like, you can't trust anyone, and, like, everyone's gonna turn on you, and, like, it's terrifying. But I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to read book 2. Book 2, I bet, is going to be even more incredible. I want to do, like, a full thing on this book. It was seriously amazing. If you want true enemies to lovers, these people, like, this book has it. It's true, brutal, heart-wrenching enemies to lovers. I cannot recommend it enough. Please go read this book. Thank you, Carissa Broadbent.
Sis!
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, that is all the books that I have to recommend for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Live in Literature YouTube channel. Tell your friends and also tell them to, or come on down to my book talk, Live in Literature, and follow me there for the content that I will be posting from now on. Again, people, we are on the countdown. It is T-minus like 5 days now to House of Flame and Shadow. I could not be more excited to talk about Flame and Shadow. I could not be more supportive of Miss SJM for giving us this beautiful gift. I'm shaking with happiness. I hope that you guys will all go and read it once it comes out. I can't wait to hear all the things you thought about the books I recommended for you today. Please go and read all these books. And I also forgot, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I always link all the books down below in the description. So the books will be linked down below in the description where you can go and purchase them. And again, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.